Electron transport is the third process involved in aerobic cellular respiration, taking place in the inner membrane of a mitochondrium, as you can see above or in this drawing here. This is the inner membrane. You will notice a series of proteins. Okay, so here's outer and here's inner. These proteins I'll star here. Okay. These proteins are embedded in the inner membrane, and this is where the electron transport chain will occur. Recall that during the Krebs cycle, important energy carrier molecules, including NADH and FADH2, were produced. These molecules help the protein carriers by helping them alternate between oxidized and reduced forms. For example, they lose and they gain electrons, so that ultimately they can transfer electrons through the chain. There's usually a cascade of reactions through the chain until the final electron acceptor, which is oxygen. I'll highlight down here. This is oxygen, and this oxygen, when accepting the final electron, is reduced to water. This oxygen is the same molecule that you inhale multiple times every minute, and it is critical to life so that your body can make ATP. The key step to making ATP in this process stems from hydrogen ions being pumped out of the mitochondrial matrix, which I'll highlight here. Hydrogen ions being pumped out of the middle of the mitochondria. They have now flowed against their concentration gradient and created a pH gradient. An enzyme called ATP synthase allows the protons to flow back into the matrix, but not before the energy is stolen to make ATP. For every NADH that enters the electron transport, 3 ATP are created, and 2 ATP are created for every FADH2 that enters the chain. A total net of 28 ATP are produced in electron transport. So in summary, try to remember the function of the electron transport chain: to oxidize electron carriers and to use energy released to create ATP. Also remember that in the presence of oxygen, we will produce the most ATP, or the most stored energy. Our bodies do not produce nearly as much energy if there is no oxygen present to accept the final electron in the chain. And finally, the location of the electron transport chain in the inner membrane of the mitochondrium.